So, as we know, AMS2 V1.6 will change the physics quite a bit, so driving will be quite different. So today, I thought about, since we are very close to the release of AMS2 V1.6, hopefully, I shall be talking about how your driving style might be changing with AMS2 V1.6. And I will just tell you that I'm going to first talk about my driving style, which is quite a lot like a rallying driving style, you can say. If you want to see a certain thing, which is a certain person's driving style, which is close to mine, look at rally drivers and Ronnie Pettersson. It's not just because he's Swedish, but that's probably because he did rallying before karting, and I also did rallying a lot before I actually became like sort of a sim racer. So what I'm saying is that the driving style is that I brake heavily, as late as possible, then try and use the brakes to lock the rear up slightly to make it rotate and a bit, and then try and go on the throttle as quick as possible to go out. So obviously in AMS2 V1.5, this will be a lot easier than V1.6. But let me take you onto the track and drive, and also show you a bit what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am back with, I am now driving. We're in the Formula Trainer Advanced, since by looking in the bottom left you can see I did quite a good lap, and also I would say, yeah, this one shows it quite a bit. So when braking down to here, see there, I like to drift the rear out a bit, but in AMS2 V1.6 doing that will lose your time, so you have to be neat with it and also not do it too much, because it will overheat the tires and also cause you to crash. And as you saw there, I drifted a bit too much and I lost time. But also, well, not really drifting, the slip angle, because certain cars like a lot, certain don't like it a lot. And this car is one which likes it to an extent until there. So this is something you need to think about. I will show you, there's a certain car which is, I believe it is an old Ronnie Pettersson one, or at least roughly one he used to drive. Close to it, I should say. And that one shows what I'm talking about. The only in this car is that when you shift into first gear with too high revs, you will lose the rear. But this car is at least fun. I just drove it in the beta and it feels quite similar, but it feels like you have a lot more grip in the beta, which is obviously a good thing. Well, in my opinion it is. There also, yeah, again, I lose the rear. So maybe, I think after talking about like this slip angle, maybe we should show it also in a different car. I think it's a bit easier. Now in the Lotus 72E, this car really likes sliding a lot. Yeah, I drove this recently in the beta, and yeah, this car slides a lot more in the base game compared to the beta. But I mean, that's fine. Yeah, it understeers a lot, this car, which isn't the most fun. But yeah, as you can see there, I like to make the rear step out quite a bit so you can rotate the car easier. So I like a higher slip angle, you could say. But then, yeah, that's the thing. In the beta, when going on throttle, it's the biggest difference. So when turning into a corner and like being under the limit, it feels a bit the same. But then when you try and go past it a bit, in like these cars, it's a lot more manageable. And then when going on throttle, if we shift into first and then just try and launch it. Yeah, it was okay there, but it's a lot easier in the beta to just drive. I can see why why the base game has, I can see the flaws with it, because always when going on throttle it has quite a few issues. And yeah, I can actually show you, if we go to Le Mans, I can show you a clear thing of what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're on the Bugatti circuit, but this is to make it my point easier a bit when discussing the actual throttle situation. So these cars, the fly-by-wire system and going on throttle will change quite a bit, but still, you can see how that actually, how it slides a lot more, which definitely changes in the beta. Also, we talk about my driving style in these. I like to take the rear out a bit, but when it's more high speed, and these cars don't really like a lot of slip angle. So what mainly happens is that I try and brake as late as possible, trail brake to make the rear move a little bit, and then just go on the throttle as quick as possible. So that's what happens a bit in these cars. But it's still fun though, even though I can't do the same in each car. It's actually good, because then you learn how to change your driving style depending on the car you're driving. So it's this adaptability, it's called, which a lot of people have talked about is super important in like Formula 1 and other racing series, that just jumping from car to car, the best driver can adapt very well. So just driving a lot of these cars, you can see that the base driving style is still there in terms of braking and going on throttle, but the actual how you're handling the mid corner, or actually going from full brake to full throttle, that changes quite a lot depending on the car you're driving, which is something quite interesting in my opinion. You could see that it doesn't like you braking traction quite a lot. So should we maybe, let's just, for as the last part of this video, let's drive a bit of an older prototype around this circuit and see how that works. Okay, so now we are in a Mercedes GT1 car. Yeah, instantly going on throttle there, I can tell you it will be a lot stabler. Like also the C9, oh my god, there is a big difference in how that is, because all of these cars with like a lot of power, it seems like they're braking traction very easily. Like you could see there, I had a few issues. And then in the new version they will be quite a lot better. Also, oh yes, something which is very different, the turning into the corner, you will have a lot more grip in the higher downforce cars, because I don't know really why, because I don't really know why, but that's how I felt it, especially in, as you could see in like the Formula V10 Gen 2. Just turning in, the front doesn't just break traction very easily. You can actually push it. I could push it around Silverstone like 100%, for 2-3 laps before actually feeling a loss in grip. So the tires have actually gotten a lot better. And the thermodynamics, yeah, that change has been very good, especially in the brakes too. But it depends on the car, because in the LMDH cars I absolutely hate them now due to how bad the brakes are at the start. So yeah, I'm quite far behind on this, but hopefully when they reset the leaderboards and change the physics, I won't be. Let's see how fast I can go this lap now, even though it's invalid. Let's see. It go very fast. Then I go into the gravel. First I take those audio says, and then I go and spoil it all by doing something stupid like that. And there it broke. But if we just start it up again, if I can do it, I want to just check something. But once that happens, I can talk to you about the conclusions. So the conclusions from this video are that the new tire physics for V1.6 will make cars actually have more grip before braking traction and less grip afterwards. So what I mean is, if you take out the Sauber C9 or basically any prototype car, and then just try, or any like high downforce car which needs a lot of grip, when you try and push it on the throttle, you will feel the rear spinning quite a lot, and it feels a bit weird how easy it is braking traction. But in V1.6 that won't happen as much, and there will be a clear reason for you, like, I actually am a bit too early. It feels more it feels more realistic, and by realistic I would say more predictable and something you can actually understand why it happens. So I wouldn't say like, if I'm going in snow in slicks and I don't drift, yeah, that would be quite unrealistic, because that's not what you would believe would happen. But if you have slicks and then just drive into a wall when going on snow, you would feel like, that's quite realistic, because that's quite believable and predictable. So that's, in a way, is how I would say realistic physics is, in my opinion, is how believable they are and how predictable they are. Because if it's one thing which you can do, like the F1 game, if you have 60 hertz, yes, you can go over a curb, but if you have 120, you can't. So it's very weird. And then if you think about everything else, yeah, it's mainly like that thing with braking traction. But also braking, as I said, it will be quite a lot easier in certain cars, quite a lot harder in other cars. And also you can push 100% for a long time in certain cars and not a long time in other cars. But what do you think? Comment down below. I know quite a few beta testers, or maybe at least one, watch these videos. So hopefully they can comment and also put their opinions in the comments if they have gone this far. But if you have, please go down below, hit the like button, and also subscribe, because hopefully my next video will be on V1.6. I just have a hunch that it might be on it, or will be very close related to it. And if it comes out or doesn't come out, generally I will just say this, that I will take the V1.6 changelog and everything, and I will do a long video on most things which will be added, except the AI, since I'm not really an AI racer, and also I believe other gay YouTubers will have an easier time showing the AI and how good it has become, how well it has become, and how much it has improved. But in the other areas, just talking about the changelogs and all of the details, having a bit of an insight that I have, I think it's a bit easier for me to do that part. But if that doesn't happen for next week, then We'll have to see. I might do another video if Renato has dropped the dev update. But until then, I've been Racing Legend. You've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.